Coming up with good lunchbox ideas can be a nightmare. And even when you have visitors, you can struggle on what to give them with a cup of tea or with juice. Cupcakes and muffins are the easiest thing to make, and the ingredients that you use are usually readily available in the kitchen. Today we'll be making cupcakes and muffins. People usually mistake the two products, and by the end of the program, you will know the difference between a cupcake and a muffin. Muffins use less sugar, and cupcakes use a lot of sugar. Muffins can be savory, and cupcakes can be frosted. I'm Primrose, and this is Home Baked, brought to you by Codcam, the manufacturers of Sandroma flavors and pastes. Now we are going to be making our blueberry muffins. And for the muffins, we are going to need flour, baking powder, sugar, cinnamon, eggs, buttermilk, oil, and some blueberries. And of course, our trusted product, the blueberry essence. I'm going to start off by measuring my flour. I will need 800 grams of flour. And I'm going to need 400 grams of sugar. And I will need 4 teaspoons of baking powder. On the flour, please make sure you use cake flour. There is a difference between cake self-raising flour, plain flour, all-purpose flour, and cake flour. For this particular product, we are using cake flour. I've put in my 4 teaspoons of baking powder. Now I'm going to put my cinnamon, and we are going to use 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. Please take note, I'm heaping my teaspoon. These are our dry ingredients, and we'll put them aside. Now for our wet ingredients, we are going to need 8 eggs. I've got my 8 eggs here, and we are going to need 200 mils of oil and 200 mils of buttermilk. So I'll just put my eggs in the bowl. No need to separate them because we don't need our muffins to be fluffy. Make sure you use fresh eggs for your products. And for you to tell that your eggs are fresh, you can put them in water, and if they float, that means they are not very fresh. If they go down, it means your eggs are fresh. So make sure you've got a good supplier for your eggs. Now, there's our 8 eggs, and I'm now going to measure my oil. So now we've put our 8 eggs in here. We're going to measure our oil, and we need 200 mils of oil. Okay, that's our 200 mils of oil, and we put it in the eggs. So now we have put our 200 mils of cooking oil in the eggs. We are going to put our buttermilk, and we need 200 mils. There's our 200 mils of buttermilk. Let me put this away. Then we take our whisker and we start mixing our dry ingredients. In here we've got our wet ingredients. In here we've got our 8 eggs, our 200 mils of oil, and our 200 mils of buttermilk. We take our dry ingredients. Let me just remove this. We take our dry ingredients and we just mix them with a wooden spoon. If you feel that your flour is not very clean, sieve it first. But if you're sure of your product, you can just mix and you're good to go. You don't need to sieve it. So I feel that my flour is nicely mixed. I'm now taking my wet ingredients and I'm putting them in my dry ingredients. And I continue to mix. You just need to do it gently. No need to vigorously mix. Okay. Remember, we are going to add our fresh blueberries in this recipe. So now we mix our dry ingredients and our dry ingredients and our wet ingredients. At this stage, we add our grated apples into the mixture. And now the interesting part, we add our flavor. And in our muffins, we're going to add the blueberry essence. The essence is quite strong, so you don't need to put too much. I put 7 drops and I'm good to go. I'll also add some blueberries. And mix. I can smell the flavors already. And it's promising to be quite yummy. You know, you can make your muffins and put them in the freezer and just take them out as and when you need them. So you can make them at the beginning of the week and you make sure the children have got something for their lunch boxes. Now, I think our mixture is ready to go into the oven. And we'll bake for about 20 minutes. Our mixture is nice and ready, and we're going to line our tray so that we can put our muffin mix. I always put an extra berry in the cups just to make sure that my muffins are nice and fruity. So I'll just take the blueberries and put 1 in each cup. You can put 2 if you want, if you're a lover of things like me. Now I'm putting the mixture into the cups. For our blueberries not to be dull and not exciting, I have prepared a topping for the blueberries, and my topping is oats. I'm going to top them with some oats, and I've just mixed oats with flour and cinnamon, and I'll just put on top of the blueberries. The cinnamon is to give that nice smell, And of course, the oats are nice and crunchy. Now we are ready for the oven, and we are going to bake this for the next 20 minutes, and our muffins will be ready. Remember, we've got our muffins in the oven, and it's 20 minutes now. Let's just go and check and see what's happening in the oven. It's smelling delicious. Ooh. Ooh. Look at that. Look at that. Nice and yummy. Muffins should be nice and brown, unlike cupcakes. You'll see when we finish doing cupcakes that they will look different from our muffins. And I'm liking the oats topping. See, it's nice and crunchy. Right. I can't wait for a cup of tea. Now, I'm just going to recap on the recipes that we used today. For our blueberry muffins, we used 800 grams of flour, 400 grams of sugar, 200 ml of buttermilk, 200 ml of oil. We used 4 teaspoons of baking powder, and we used 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. And of course, we added the blueberry essence. Now from muffins to cupcakes. Cupcakes are very sweet, and cupcakes come in all sorts of flavors. And again, we have different flavors that you can use for your cupcakes. You can make red velvet cupcakes, you can make blueberry cupcakes, they can be just vanilla cupcakes, or they can be chocolate cupcakes. But today, we are making lemon cupcakes. So we are going to be using our lemon paste and lemon essence. For this recipe, we are going to need cake flour again. Please take note, we are using cake flour because it's nice, light and feathery, and it doesn't have any raising agent because we're going to add baking powder. We are going to use 3 cups of flour. We will need 5 eggs, 250 grams of margarine, a 1/4 cup of oil, 1 cup of butter vanilla, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and a cup of sugar. Okay, so in my mixing bowl, I'm going to put my 1 cup of sugar and my butter. And I'll mix the two until they're nice and fluffy and white. Whilst our butter is mixing, we can now sieve our flour. Remember, we said we are going to use 1 teaspoon of baking powder. So I'm just going to take 1 teaspoon here and put it in the flour and sieve. When you're mixing your butter and your sugar, make sure you take from the sides. You switch off your mixer and remove the butter from the sides of your bowl. Otherwise, you'll have some butter mixed and some sugar not mixed. So you have to use your spatula to make sure that everything is mixed nicely. And we switch it on again, and now we can put our 1/4 cup of oil. and mix again. You have to keep checking to see that your butter is mixing nicely, and I think mine is mixing nicely, but I'll just mix it for another minute and I'm sure it will be done. So in another bowl, we break in our 5 eggs and we put our vanilla essence in there. So our 5 eggs, and we've got our vanilla essence. We just put a few drops because the essence is quite strong, so you don't use that much. Like I said, I count 7 drops. I'll just beat my eggs a little bit with a fork and switch on my mixer. Right. In here, we add our eggs, half of the eggs into the batter mix, and we take half of the flour into the mix as well. We are putting just half of our flour into the mix. And we add the rest of the eggs. Remember, we are making lemon cupcakes. So at this stage, that's when we take our lemon paste, our Sandroma lemon paste, and our Sandroma essence. I'm just going to put the last bit of the flour. When I put in the last bit of the flour, that's when I put my buttermilk. There's my buttermilk there. And now, the most exciting part of making the cupcakes. I'm putting my paste. And for this, I'm going to use 2 teaspoons of the lemon paste. Two teaspoons of the lemon paste, and again a few drops of the lemon essence. So in our cupcakes we have vanilla essence and we have lemon essence. We should not overmix this. We just mix it for just 1 minute and it's ready to be put in the tins. I think we are good to go. We are now getting our trays and we put our cupcakes in the trays. Now that our batter is ready, we're going to put it in the tins so that we can put in the oven. With cupcakes, do not put too much butter in the cups because it will rise and you will not be able to frost it. So I'll just put a little bit in each cup. Our cupcakes are ready to go into the oven, which we've already preheated, and we are going to bake this for 15 minutes. I'm sure you've noticed that the recipe that I gave you can do a lot of muffins or cupcakes. We have to be economic when we're doing our baking, so that we save. We save on time, we save on electricity, and we save even on ingredients. The muffins, the recipe that I gave you for muffins can give you 30 muffins. And the recipe that I gave you for cupcakes can give you 30 cupcakes. So that means if you're making cupcakes for the week, you're covered. Now that we've finished doing our cupcakes, we're going to frost them and make them look nice and beautiful. I'm using Fino Whip to frost our cupcakes. I'm just making some swirls on the cupcakes to make them nice. I've colored my Fino Whip white and yellow. Just a simple decoration. There we go. And we can even go an extra mile and add a little something on the cupcakes. These are just sugar balls. And to give that elegant look, I'm also going to add gold sugar balls. There we go. We've got our cupcakes nicely frosted and ready to serve. Now we have come to the end of the program, and we have made our lemon cupcakes and our blueberry muffins. For the blueberry muffins, of course, we used our star product, the Sandroma Blueberry Essence. And for our cupcakes, we used the Sandroma Lemon Paste and the Sandroma Essence. And of course, we used the Butter Vanilla Essence. I hope you've been helped, and I hope you've got something that you can add to put in those lunch boxes and to give to your visitors when they visit you. Now, I'm just going to recap on the recipes that we used today. For the cupcakes, we used 3 cups of cake flour, 250 grams of margarine, 5 eggs, 1 cup of sugar, 1 cup of buttermilk, and we added the Sandroma paste and the Sandroma essence.